Jerry Horan was born on a farm in Drangan in County Tipperary. One of 9 children, Jerry says he was used to hard work.
We were reared in a house just over the road from where I live at the moment. And basically we were a farm, so we were always used to being working. The 9 of us, at some time or other, were all self-employed.
At 16 years of age, Jerry began to serve his time as a fitter.
Well, that was 1976, and at that time I went working in Cavan and spent 5 years travelling around. And then in 1981 I met Kathleen and we got married, and we moved back to Drangan then, and we built a house on our own farm, and we're living there since.
Jerry's job involved him travelling thousands of miles every year.
It was very odd work because I was servicing milk packaging machinery. So once that broke down, you had to go fix it. And we had 3 children, so I couldn't really leave it. And there was no jobs in the locality that was would give the same conditions as that, until I got the job as maintenance manager in the meat factory.
After 14 years on the road, travelling thousands of miles every year, getting a job closer to home was an answer to a prayer.
I was there about 3 or 4 months when the meat factory was sold and a new buyer came in, and they didn't need a maintenance manager, they had their own maintenance manager. So I was out of work then. As I say to some people, I was 14 years in the first job and 14 weeks in the second one.
His former employer offered him his old job back. But while Jerry declined the offer, he came up with a compromise that resulted in him starting his own company.
I said to him then that I would start our own company and I'd start rebuilding their machines on contract for them. And so they agreed to that.
Kathleen, Jerry's wife, came on board as financial controller, and together they opened their business in Cashel.
We had no other option at the time. We had 2 teenagers and one younger than that, so we had no other option. He started doing out CVs again, but he was talking to his boss in Elopac, and he said, come back to us. And he said, no, I don't want to go through all that again. And they already rebuilt machines in their premises in Dublin, and he said, would you do it under contract for us? So we started.
Initially, the company concentrated on rebuilding packaging machinery, and within 4 years, they built their own premises in the village of Drangan, close to their home.
We would know about old control panels and things, and at this stage then programmable units were coming in, and we started to use those. So when we were rebuilding the machines, we started taking out the old wires and cables and replacing them with these, and started to program these. So that was the first step of it. And then really after that we started to look into the robotics and the automation, because some of the jobs then it was just easier to build a new machine than try to rebuild the older ones. I had the basics, and I had the basic programming knowledge, so once I started that, then it was easy enough to pick up the robot training.
As the business grew, more and more of Jerry's customers were requesting unusual automated solutions, and Jerry started to focus on bespoke manufacturing. With advancements in technology, the company started to use 3D software.
We have very good broadband here in Drangan. We actually have a fibre cable, believe it or not, yeah. We have fibre coming into the exchange here in Drangan.
Because of the high-speed broadband, Jerry is able to employ a Polish-based programmer to work on the robots.
I'll reduce you down, and we'll just have a look at the line on the programme where you are. And we'll just see. So where are you? Can you take over that now and just show me where you're making the changes on the screen? That's fine.
During the lean years of the downturn, Jerry and Kathleen kept afloat with the help of some very loyal customers.
That's sensor 7 now, you're changing. Some of our good customers, and very like Sarah Scepter, who we were with this morning, they stuck by us when we were quiet on work, and they kept us, 2 or 3 of our very good customers kept us going.
John O'Connor, our operations manager, met with Jerry about 12 years ago. And it started off with a semi-automated system, and it's grown into what is now today a fully automated system for the production of all the products that we're manufacturing in-house.
We are the robots. We are the robots. We are the robots.
Conor Mullally has worked for the company for 7 years. He designs and manages projects as well as building many of the bespoke machines. County Tipperary Chamber of Commerce, together with Horan Automation and Boston Scientific, recently organised an expo at their base in Drangan.
The big thing around here is, apart from keeping the jobs and the talent in the locality, is to match people with each other instead of having to go 30, 40, 50 miles away thinking the talent is not in the area. The talent is in the area.
When asked about robots replacing humans, Jerry points out that the majority of their work involves robots that carry out difficult or dangerous tasks. Horan Automation work with small, medium and large companies.
Some of the projects are quite big. They maybe take us 6 to 8 months to put together here. So they can't really dedicate, their in-house engineering staff are kind of developing what's going on, running the factory. And as they say themselves, most healthcare and pharmaceutical, their engineers, their job really is producing pharmaceuticals, it's not building machines. So they don't really want to get involved in that industry. So that's why they come to the likes of us. We've noticed this year now our growth is way up. We're looking at doubling our turnover this year, and we hope to double again next year. And staff, well, we had 3 this time last year, now we have 4. We're recruiting another one at the moment. We're just in the process, so hopefully before the end of the year we'll have a 5th one, and I think we'll be taking another one next year. So we'll be at 6 or 7, I think, before the end of next year.